And YouTube, can anyone confirm if you can see me on YouTube first? I think there is some LinkedIn. Yes. Can you just anyone confirm on the chat if you can see me on LinkedIn, and then I will continue as well. So coming to this topic, Musa exactly is told correct. Exactly, he has Googled it. So DeepSeek started with version one model. So what if you know the science behind it? I don't want to they have tried to optimize the cost. They have tried to optimize the cost of running these LLMs. That is the simple thing that they have done. So let me open my, yeah, this is the not this one, sorry. Where is the document that I have opened? One second. Lot of files are there. Just give me 1 second. It was there here. Yes. Okay. So DeepSeek was there for a long time. The thing that really changed DeepSeek. Just can anyone put on the chat if they can see me on LinkedIn? Just please, if because I don't want to reshare my screen. Thank you, Ahmed. So DeepSeek, just to tell everyone, it is not something new. It started in August 2023, and okay, no problem. Just the best way to learn about DeepSeek and any new model is GitHub or I for in this case Wikipedia. If I just do DeepSeek Wikipedia, so you will see the first. So this company was started in 2000, early 2000, as it was a little old, but the models that they started, the first this particular model was started. The three main models. No one was talking about this DeepSeek coder, but if you see the versions, they were using supervised fine tuning initially, and they were working on these things. So DeepSeek, I heard a little bit about it in April when they did something in DeepSeek's maths. And what different that it did, right? Why people are talking about it? What different it did is it used the learning from OpenAI, from Llama to everything, and you will see why this is important right now. All of you will it showed in simple English. It showed the Chat GPT. uh, it fed the suppose you do a maths problem like 5555 into 5555. You are using the calculator to do it, as well as you are using Chat GPT to do it, and you are making it things together, and then you are giving this as a supervised fine tuning. So they were working on this for the last from 2023. So the models started on August. DeepSeek started working on these models, the DeepSeek family, from 2023. And then the first model was launched in November 2023. That was for coding. So even for coding, right? They have you take the code, you get the output, and then you actually take the code and run it in a compiler and then compare it. Similarly with maths, they did this a lot. So they created their own data sets that especially for code and maths, they did this repetitively. And version these are the steps, and everything that you see that they have developed upon the older versions. So first they worked a lot on the basic LLM, then mixture of models, and then they used math. Till then everything was good. After that, they went to version 2. Here also they did a little bit of multi-head latent attention. All of you know about transform models. So they had a new type of multi-head latent attention. So this is more accurate and it requires less processing. And I will talk more about this till version 3. No one was talking about it. And if you remember, till version 3, everything was fine. This is just another model. It is just another model. This is the reality, and I will also tell you, I have done some videos in December. Also, if you go to my YouTube channel, you will look at it. No one was talking a lot about it. What changed was R1. why all of why am I talking about DeepSeek today in this call, in this mentoring, in this in our by the way, just to introduce everyone who's listening on YouTube, LinkedIn, this is our 87th AI community meetup. And every Saturday, as it's an online community, every Saturday we do this event. Even though if there are sometimes guest speakers who come, even if there are no guest speakers, I take up a topic and then I have Q&A with my community if there is any challenge going on, if anyone is facing any issues. Right now, LinkedIn challenge is going on, so we are focusing on LinkedIn. We discuss the latest trend, use cases, and tools. So today, 8th February, if this is our 87th community meetup, if you are hearing from social media and not part of the community, please join this. Today, we have been doing this for the last 87 months, and with your support, I will continue to do this as well in the near future. So this is a community initiative for everyone to join and learn from each other. And distilled, how it works, I will talk a little bit about it. Why is it different? But DeepSeek R1, first of all, two things that Ahmad, Sohail, and all of you mentioned, they did everything very well. It was Lama was also doing everything very well. But the difference between V3 and R1, that they introduced something called as a reasoning. Reasoning is a different type of reinforcement learning. So OpenAI and all the previous things, we used reinforcement learning with human feedback. But here we are using a different kind of reinforcement learning. And this is the power of it. And I will talk a little bit about it as well in the slides. But this is what changed. In the weekend of 20th January, this was released. Everyone started using it, uh, reading the paper. So 20th January, if you go, this is the source of information that I spent time to read this paper. It is a very interesting paper. I request, and I'm going to summarize this paper today as well. This paper was released on 22nd January. So in UAE and India, it was the 23rd early morning or late night. People got this paper, and this paper talks about lot about it. If you and it released the information through open source. So at the time when they released the model, at the time when they released the model, the same thing OpenAI was doing it in their O1 model. If you go to OpenAI Pro, I know I am shifting a lot of screens, but please give me this thing. So if you know, there is something called ChatGPT Pro, which is $200 per month, was giving the same capability, even little bit lesser efficiency than DeepSeek R1. This is the first use case. So ChatGPT Pro was doing this. This was launched on December 5th, 2024, and in January 22nd, uh, DeepSeek R1, they launched something similar, made it free and open source, and this caused a big issue, a big and I'll tell you what happened. When Monday the markets opened, there was a huge crash. So, and this is because this paper was released on the weekend. People were looking at understanding that what is happening. The big companies promised that there is going to be a lot of GPUs going to be used, but eventually they understood that this is not going to happen, and actually it picked up. I was like little bit amazed that it will that it. I knew it is going to pick up, but not so soon. Like if you see the decline, if I just do 1 month decline, this was, see, 23rd, the launch happened. Everyone started reading the paper that I showed you. I know it's taking a delay, but please see my screen. Then on after 23rd, there was a drop. 600 billion dollars were wiped out of Nvidia and the whole stock because of this reason that uh, OpenAI, if they used 100 GPUs, if they used 100 GPUs, they used 98, they only used 2% of those GPUs. So they, in comparison to the GPUs that OpenAI used to train their O1 model, the Pro, they only used 2% of that, 2 to 3% of that. So the budget was around 5 to 6 million. This is what they claim. And it means that the GPUs of NVIDIA will not be used so much. And how it is doing this is because of efficiency. I will talk a little bit about that. But this created a big buzz because on 27th, because after the weekend the market opened, people started talking about DeepSeek, and then everyone was doing research. What is this DeepSeek? Why is it so different? And what is I will share you my perception also. Is DeepSeek really a hype? It is a hype. It's not, I will say it's not a hype. It is just changed the industry dimension for open source, right? You have to, and it changed the narrative of how things have to be done. So what this company did, and if I can show you here, I will open this is easier for me to show. What this company did is, uh, it open source the model. First thing that it did, it used, if you can just confirm me, if you can see my slide on the chat. uh, I think it is taking some time to load on the this thing. It used to reinforcement learning. So reinforcement learning with human feedback is very much different from the RLHF that ChatGPT used. So this is something that is there, and they did not use supervised fine tuning. So they used RL without the supervised fine tuning for this model. So what they did is they used AI to learn itself and improve itself. It is not like, it is a very different way of RLHF where you give rewards and risks that you have learned in RLHF, right? And it competes with this Open AI, the latest 11217 model that is $200 uh, per uh, month. You can load it to your local system, and you can run it if you have you have a good processor. Monday, everyone, Monday I'm going to do a workshop on DeepSeek, how to run it locally. I will share you the details as well later on, but it does it very well. And even if you don't want to install your Olama in your local and run it, you can use the API from this DeepSeek, which is at a fraction of cost. 1/25th of the cost of the other models that are there. It has given you the weights. It has given you all the weights. So you can take that model and you can make something better. And it supports model from 1.5 to 70 billion parameters. So it has whole range of parameters that it is supporting. So this is and all these notes are coming from the research paper that they have submitted. So this thing is something that every one of you should understand. Benchmarks. So there are a lot of people in LinkedIn asking questions. I can you guys just wait for 10 minutes? Let me finish the slides, and then you can please put your questions on the chat. Everyone on LinkedIn, the team is looking at YouTube as well. I will be taking the Q&A after 10 minutes. I will be opening the floor for few Q&As. I know this is theoretical, but I'm going to do a workshop on Monday, which I'll be sharing you the link in decodingdatascience.com community that is there. So I don't believe benchmarks. I don't believe benchmarks. You know why? Because lot of large language models, they program themselves to beat the benchmark. Like now Quen has come up. Quen is the new Alibaba. I heard about them. I talked to the few of the scientists in AI everything as well. They had come down in AI Everything Summit that we were part of. So they were saying that they are good. So what they do, these type of large language models, that they train their models because they know the question from IME, from Codeforce, from GPQA, from Math 500, and they train it to outperform the previous ones. But this is how it works. I personally don't believe it, that this is the correct way of doing it. But at a personal level, when I was using DeepSeek R1, the best thing is it was giving you the thought process. This is something that is very interesting, how the large language models are thinking. Now O1 is doing it in deep search in the $200 one. Before it was not doing that. So you understand step by step, okay, what is happening, like how are they thinking. Like if you know this question, how many R's in strawberry, like I will share my screen and do a demo later on. But it shows you the process step by step of how it thinks, how it goes, how it reads the word, how it counts, and how it gives you the final answer, that there are 3 R's in strawberry or 4 R's. That is a very common thing that every one of us knows about. So, but anyways, DeepSeek has outperformed all the large language models. And when the paper was Okay. Yes. Thank you, Ahmed, for also confirming. So this is something good, right? You can use that learning and this is very good for academy. Like most of you are part of academy, right? When you are learning to code, when you're learning to do other things, you can see how it is thinking and how it is getting the output. You are not blindly copying the output. You are seeing the thinking process, and this is what is very important for all of you here. Satya, Musa, Maria, you use ChatGPT, no one is stopping, but understand what is the process that has gone behind to get the answer, so you know it's right, wrong. And if anyone, Musa, Maria, if you have any comment, put on the chat. There is an option to raise your hand and you can agree, disagree with me as well. But this is whatever I'm telling you is my personal observation as well, what I'm talking to experts that is there. So what are some of the key contributions? What makes it different? There are five things that is there, that is, as I told you before, of a self-learning reasoning ability. So from the thought process that is there, from the prompting that you are doing, it also puts that output and input back to the system for it to make it better. So this is something that is very, very important. Self-learning reasoning ability. More about the thinking process. How it is thinking, how you can make it better is something that is very, very important. Multi-stage RL. So reinforcement learning, and I will put the link of the paper to all of you. When you have time, read it. It is little bit mathematical, but the only thing that keeps on coming again and again is a new way of reinforcement learning, and this is the biggest power of this. And I was reading about this. I don't want to go into the too technical things. It has done distilled small models. So generally, when you run, flops, any one of you in the chat or knows about flops, when you are running your code on the integer 8 bytes. So generally all these models are running on 16 byte, 32 bit, 16 bit. And to reduce the flops, the flip, the what it has done, that it has tried to run these models in 1 bit or maximum 8 bit, to make it consume lesser GPUs and do it faster. So because most of the LLMs, most of the processors are running on 16-bit and 32-bit, some are on 64-bit, but they have tried to reduce it on a smaller, so they have to increase the F flop. So for the hardware engineers, you will know, just read about something called as flops. Just the flops is a concept that at a hardware level, it is. So what this DeepSeek has done, and I will tell you, it is called floating point operation per second. Flop is floating point operation per second, is a measure of computer for performance in computing. Make sure of seeing the speed of how you are running the model. So read about flop, and what it did, it tried to increase the flop by reducing the integer, the bits per second. It's too technical, but they have done that. They were able to run by not losing the performance. All of you have run about quantization, right? What does quantization do? It just makes the model smaller, but that reduce the accuracy. But they have not done that. They have done distill the small model. They have done the training on, by making sure the flops have increases by decreasing uh, the bits by on 1 bit or 8 bit. Read about it. I know there are a lot of technical papers that are talking about it, how they have done it, and it is written in details in that particular other thing. Competitive benchmark, you all know that it is doing well, but one thing that it was doing in the last 1.5 years is, it was doing for especially coding and maths. It was taking chat gpt output and giving it the right output from calculator by python operation, and they did it for more than millions of records. So suppose you do any calculation, you also do it in the python compiler, and then you give it as an input, and you compare and you keep making it better, bend better. So this is how it goes. Suppose you ask a math question like 555 into 555, then chat gpt then the calculator will add it. Suppose whatever answer you get it, you will compare. So someone is asking in the chat, is flop process a new thing done? No. So flop is a concept that is there for a long time. It is floating points per second when you are computing it. Everyone was, see, the problem is, if you have lot of hardware, If you have lot of technology and compute power, you don't care about these small things like increasing the flop to optimize the floating point per second. So this is the most minute level details that the DeepSeek researchers have gone, because they had a restriction. When you restrict them from getting access to hardware, this is what they did. So this is not something new, but they were the first one to do it, and now everyone else will follow. Okay, and it is open for customization and research. This is something that is very important. So you can download. Many people have already created their own versions of DeepSeek R1 as well. You can do that as well. And Quen also has done the same thing. So now for the benchmarks, as you all know, it is topping all the benchmarks I have showed in the slide that is there. And you can see those details as well. And this open source model is now competes with a $1 billion AI company, that is OpenAI. And that is the reason why it has created shocks in the market that is there, that a company with such a small budget can compete with the big giants of the world. But I doubt it that they have used the learning of OpenAI, Meta. It's not that they have done something from scratch. They have just taken the best of everything and optimized it and showed every one of you. So this is the reinforcement learning that happens. They are using something called as a group relative policy optimization. This is in order to save the training cost of reinforcement learning. They are it's very mathematical, but this is in your chat GPT they use policy optimization, PO. If you see PPO, they use something called PPO, but here they have used something called as a group relative PPO. This is also a very good way of reducing the training cost of this reinforcement learning. And this is mathematically, this is very confusing, but just think about it. It's a new way of uh, doing the running the RL, and it looks at what happens in a policy optimization. It looks at every single input and output. In group relative, what happens, it takes a group of input and output, like I told you, like if you're doing addition, subtraction, or if you're doing something very similar, it will take all the input output together and then run that particular thing. So read about this. I know there are not a lot of mathematicians here, but just think about it. When you do something individually, right, it takes a lot of time. But suppose if you segment things and take things that are very similar and do it for them, it is faster. So this is in very layman terms I'm trying to explain you. If I am telling something wrong, some of the scientists here can correct me on the chat, and I can give you the option. Just put on the chat and raise your hands. I'm also learning every day, so maybe, and I'm just trying to simplify for the community. But see, you don't need to know into too much details how it is working, but it is good to at least get an idea, right? How it is different. So open source is the key to go, right? Open source wins. Community driven AI is the future. We all saw that. That's the reason why I personally feel Llama and all these things will be leaders in this space. But it's a different thing to put it in. Organization, but at least innovation, the I feel open source is a way forward. AI barrier is falling, and now this is something that I want all of you to listen, right? Now, a lot of mid-sized companies, startups can use the power of these technologies. You don't need to have high GPUs that are there. I'm going to have a workshop on Monday where I'm going to use DeepSeek locally. So this is something very easy for all of you to do. You don't need to spend $200 a month to access these type of reasoning models. Implementation of AI power is this. You will see more implementation of AI in applications because of DeepSeek that is there. And a lot of people, there are a lot of people who are talking negative, right, about DeepSeek, that it is the way it has trained is not correct. It is censored. Yes, it is there. All these things are there, but you have the open weights. You don't need to use the original DeepSeek model. You can take their weights and you can train your fine tune it and do your own version for you to work. And it's okay for if it is censored, but you are not using it for fact based information. You are using more for reasoning type of stuff that is there. And one thing that is there, that AI skill investment is surging because you need to do more of customization and fine tuning. This is the reason why I'm telling you, learning these things, how to run into your local system is going to be the future, and all of you need to learn to do it. Okay. So now I will. This is the big picture. Before, if you remember, Falcon launched 180B model. Now, why do you think these billion parameters are lost? Why are not people talking about billion, 70 billion, 80 billion, 180 billion? That thing has stopped. I personally feel that it is no longer about the size. It is more how you are doing the reasoning. Now, you will not see a more than Falcon tried it with 180 billion parameter. All of you know that it did not do well. It wasted a lot of money in building that 180 billion parameters, but it was not giving you proper error because the size does not matter. It is the quality that matters. All of you know that. But eventually, you will see this, and DeepSeek has proved it. You will, I personally feel, but I don't know. Things may change, right? What Deepseek R1 has done with 70 billion parameters, OpenAI can, just to make marketing buzzword, they can double it. They can make something like OpenAI R1 140B. But I don't think it is going to be too much accurate. It's not going to make much of a difference other than marketing. And businesses that adapt AI, and this is what I tell everyone in the call. All of you are front runners, so you know that this is important for all of you to learn. Why I'm doing a specific subject on today on DeepSeek is because it is something that is different. All of you should know about it, and I am doing a workshop on Sunday or on Monday for DeepSeek. So I will be sharing this link. Someone can share it on the chat as well. So this is happening on Monday, where I'm trying to build a DeepSeek R1 chatbot locally. Just I'll wait for a couple of seconds for all of you to see my screen. And I want to share this on the chat as well. So please register for this as well, and you will learn more how to do this practically using Olama and LangChain, and take it forward. Now I will pause for any questions regarding today's topic and the LinkedIn challenge that we are running, or any other open questions from the community. You agree with me, disagree with me? Please let me know. I will also need to put it on LinkedIn as well. So give me 1 second. I will just pause. Any questions? So Ahmed has few comments. So yeah, thank you, Ahmed. And let me just give me 1 second before I put it on the. Any questions from anyone, or we can just wind up the call. People who are there on YouTube, just give me a couple of seconds. I don't know. I am not able to post the link. Just give me 1 second. Okay, I think I have disabled to put link. Yeah, now you can see. I put the link on the this thing, and YouTube also I'll put the link. So there is a question on YouTube regarding the future of DeepSeek. So see, DeepSeek is not going to change much. A lot of companies are not going to use, enterprise companies are going to use DeepSeek. This is the reality. But DeepSeek has changed the business, the mentality of
वो
the.
डेढ़ की लाइन में तो है
So this is what it has do. It is.
रोटी खाना है तो
Can you please be on mute if not speaking? Let me 1 second. Okay, sorry. Yeah. Zuhair, if you have any questions, can please put on the chat. And so DeepSeek companies will not start using DeepSeek because there is a lot of skeptics. Even Llama, right? Many big companies, enterprise companies, are not still using it. But the problem is it has changed the way you are uh, using these large language models. Like it opens up a lot of possibilities for startups, small companies, and and all those things that are there. So my only uh, this thing is there. Read about it. You will see now. You will see the next OpenAI wave, the Llama 4 that is going to come. It is going to use reasoning. This thing it is going to use RL. So this is a new technique it is going to use, and it is going to uh, make it more efficient. So it has, at end of the day, OpenAI, Llama, these companies will be taking whatever the learning is there, and it is just a race. But my only advice to all of you, because you all learn, and again going back of how you can use these technologies to use for your use case. So my only concern and what I'm trying to tell here is I'm just giving you an option of how to use this. And once you are able to use this, then if anything new comes, you will be able to adapt to it quickly. So try to read the research paper, try to understand what's happening, and because things are moving very fast, think about how, and again in our community meetup also I was telling, right, how you can use how you can solve business problem using AI is the future. So all of you listening to the call on LinkedIn, YouTube, DeepSeek will not, it has changed the way developers are developing, how their reasoning is happening. It has democratized AI. So making it cheaper. Now you see OpenAI is going to reduce the $200 price for sure. You in the recent update you will see that it is going to reduce the $200 price to a cheaper one, and more open source communities, more models will be coming in. So this is the future that I feel. Okay. Any more questions from LinkedIn, from Zoom chat, from yeah, so thank Ahmed for sharing this. Can you also share it on YouTube and LinkedIn if you don't mind as well? Yes. So yeah. So you got the research paper, right? Or you want the research paper? I think this is the research paper. It is in archive. Plus, I will share it on the WhatsApp group as well. Plus, let me also share this. Okay, before we end the call, is there any questions from the LinkedIn challenge? Anyone? I know few people joined late, but just to summarize this to everyone, this is the 87th AI community meetup. Today we discussed about DeepSeek in details and about our community events that are happening. And let me just share my screen again for everyone here on the call and summarize today's call. And if there are any no more questions, we can wind up. So this is the 87th AI community meetup. All our events are updated here. So if you go to our AI community, all our events are updated here for the people who are joining first time. The Monday we are going to have this DeepSeek. 50 on the 11th February we're going to have the AI show and all the events that are here. 18th and 19th this is there. Plus we are running our challenges. 19 people are competing on LinkedIn challenge. You can still join this challenge. And the next challenge, this is a very good way of growing on LinkedIn together. So we have 19 people competing with each other, and people who are I think Satya, you're there in the call. I request people who have not yet submitted, please submit your uh, submissions today. If not, you will be marked late. And the second thing is the other challenge that we have done is the application building challenge. This is our flagship challenge that we keep running every quarter. This is going to start on April, but we have an early bird of $9 for everyone to join. So if just join it, it's a very good way of learning, and be part of our community initiatives. And if there are no more questions, we can wind up the call for today. And thank you everyone for your time and have a great evening.